Basically, what has been decided in a completely unprecedented decision that took place during the early hours of the morning is that they will impose a levy on all deposits so anybody with a bank account in Cyprus and has over 100,000 euros will be taxed at 9.9%. And even those with under 100,000, and we're talking about people with savings, basically. Anybody with savings will be taxed if they're under 100,000 with 6.75%, which is extremely bizarre considering that the EU has guaranteed private bank deposits of up to 100,000 euros.
Gosh, so does it just affect Cypriots, or are there people, expats living there, who might have bank accounts? I believe the Russians also save money in Cyprus.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about the Russians, but what people don't seem to understand is that we have 70 billion euros worth of deposits in Cyprus, and I think something around 20 billion of that is Russian. The rest is not. So the vast majority is Cypriot residents, people living in Cyprus. 1 in 4 people in Cyprus are foreign, so it's not just Cypriots. Okay. But I think the biggest impact of this decision is that it's exposed the EU for the complete lack of solidarity in terms of how it treats less significant smaller countries. I mean, Cyprus does not have one of those fiscal deficits that's just gone blazing through the roof. We've had a relatively controlled fiscal deficit, but what we did do was suffer under the exposure to Greece. And when the EU came and decided to impose a haircut on Greek bondholders, this affected the Cypriot banks by 4 billion, approximately 25% of its GDP.
Okay.
So the average man and woman on the street, people like my parents who've been saving up all their lives working, will now have to pay for that. And I think that's completely unprecedented, and it's not just something that will impact expats or Cypriots.
Okay. Stefanos, presumably you just go to your bank today and take out the money so you'll be below that 100,000 euro threshold.
Well, even if I'm below that, well, I'm definitely below that 100,000 threshold, but the ATMs are actually, there's long queues at the ATMs, but you can only take out a certain amount, and electronic transactions have been frozen. So there's no real way, and it's a long weekend, it's a bank holiday on Monday, so basically whoever didn't take out their money yesterday, and not many people did unless they were aware of what was about to happen, then whoever hasn't taken out their money for yesterday will be impacted by this today. And people, everyday people, not the people who spend their money, but the people who save their money will be affected and will have money. A lot of people are calling this daylight robbery.